and independent bottling and official bottling from Signatory Vintage, their Unchillfiltered collection. This is Edradour, 46%, about 11 years old. Let's get into it on Whisky Whistle. Good morning, good day, good evening, my whiskey people. I'm Mark, your host here on Whisky Whistle, where I've been bringing great whiskey and spirits reviews since 2015. Well beyond my 10th anniversary, and I can't wait to keep on going with this. So I've got Edradour. This is from the Signatory Vintage Unchillfiltered collection. Super dark. And this is 46% ABV. Natural color. Is it unchill-filtered? Well, it does say on the canister. Can you see? Right there. This particular range from Signatory Vintage is called the Unchill-Filtered collection. Oh, Mark. Okay, so I've got my Glencairn glass beautifully embossed with my logo. There it is. Can you see that? And we'll get that poured. Again, a very unenjoyable cork pull, but let's get it poured. Into my somewhat spotty glass. I should have polished that. Whoa! That's definitely 1.5 ounces. And that is definitely a dark whiskey. Now, this particular bottling, if I can call all of them a bottling, the flavors really run the gamut of flavors. Oh, you'll get some bizarre flavors, you'll get some classic flavors, and if you've got an open mind, then you're always going to enjoy that, and it's always going to bring something new and fresh to your palate. First of all, let's check out the color. Very dark. Definitely a reddish, ruddy hue, isn't it? That is, boy, deeply polished oak or perhaps a cherry wood, which is definitely very attractive. So anyway, welcome to Whisky Whistle. We're going to try this out neat, and then we'll try it with water. After that, we'll give it a Whisky Whistle whiskey score at the end of the video. If you have, what can I say? If you've got no patience whatsoever, then just click on forward right now, and you can go check that score out if you want. But I think you're going to want to follow along with me. So if you've got this bottling, especially if you've got it, either this exact bottling or one like it. By the way, this is cask number 485, bottled on March 24th, 2022. So that gives you an idea. But anyway, do follow along. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel and click that bell. That way, my content is going to be queued up on your account on YouTube. And don't forget to check me out on Patreon as well. Wink, wink. Just kidding. No, okay. So the nose. Super intense sherry. But also, there is a saucy aroma in there. Like just a couple of drops of some really expensive balsamic vinegar. Maybe even a drop or two of soy sauce, the good stuff. Homemade, Korean. That is incredible soy sauce, by the way. Definitely big oaky notes there as well. You might even say, some might even say that this has been over oaked. If this was a home distillation and home aged mini cask aged whiskey. It's warming. There's some cedar notes in there. Some fruit leather. Is fruit leather even eaten today? Well, that was the snack of choice for moms that were thinking about their kids' health back in the day. It's like, well, I can't be giving you Mars bars or Snickers every day, so here's a couple of fruit leather. And I gotta tell you, they're quite tasty. You put that in your mouth, and it's just like you get this rush of sour, sweet flavor. Very nice stuff. Probably you can make your own. I would maybe try that someday. So file under Big Oak, Big Sherry, and Umami. Now let's get into the palate together. I am salivating. Here we go. Oh, cheers. Oh my. Let me get into that in a minute, but it's really troublesome. You might have noticed that I'm fairly ambidextrous. So it presents problems when I'm trying to maneuver and I've got things like the mic sitting in front of my face, which is there because that is where mics should be. There are people who hold these things and there's people who put them so far away. It's like, what are you doing? You are totally wasting money. Just get a cheap mic and then stick that in the middle of your room if you want. Anyway, I digress. If that bothers you that much, then this is not the channel for you because I really, really want good sound. And that's what I'm doing. And by the way, my last couple of reviews, it looks like my daughters had used my mic and had adjusted with the gain. So I couldn't quite get the perfection that I wanted, but here we are. It should be crystal clear sound, I would hope. Please let me know. Okay, back into this incredible palate. The alcohol, it's not even there. Is this real liquor? It is just so approachable. But keep in mind, it is fully oaky. And what I'm getting here on the palate, freshly roasted walnuts. Puffs of something a little on the smoky side. And this is another distillery that makes both unpeated and peated whiskeys. And the unpeated is, I don't think it is absolutely 0 ppm malt. I believe that they are choosing some 2 to 3 ppm malts from whoever they're buying their malt from. Sweet, rich fruit cake. Dark Christmas fruit cake, the heavy one. You could throw that in a sock and beat the heck out of your brother if you need to at Christmas time, which my brother and I sometimes have. Not lately, but anyway, keep that in mind. Tube sock plus a fruit cake. That is a weapon. Rich fruit cake. A little bit of milk chocolate in there. Wafts of something a little bit smoky. Big, delicious oaky notes. So woody, cedar. Would that be? I'm not sure what kind of oak that would be. It could very well be some type of a European oak, Spanish oak, or French oak, or Hungarian oak, or something like that. Or it is just American oak that has had sherry in it for more than just a couple of years. That's another option. And something that is a little bit on the yeasty side, with that gets very well oxidated. Oxidized. I'm not sure. I digress yet again. But sweet, sumptuous, slightly syrupy mouthfeel, very approachable, not astringent, nutty, fruity, cakey-like flavors, and a delicious fruitcake, cocoa, light, lovely finish to carrying it through. And I don't think this really needs water, but we're going to try a little bit of water together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. May as well put that in. 16, a little over 1 milliliter of water. And in case you're wondering, I checked this out with a teaspoon, a 5 millimeter teaspoon, and 15 drops from this dropper equals 1 milliliter. There are some people who just like to add a drop or two of water, but there will really not be too much of a change, other than the ABV is basically the same, but you are getting some of the hydrophobic compounds that will be coming out of your glass, even with 1 drop of water. If you go with a milliliter, then what you're doing is you are lowering the ABV a little bit, and it's going to lessen the numbing effects of alcohol, of ethanol on your tongue. Anyway, so the nose with water. More fruitcakey, more cocoa, more very dark raisins and currants. Something biscuity. My grandmother's coffee crisp cookies. Very lovely. Onto the palate with water. Sweeter. More nutty. A little bit more astringent. That'll probably dissipate after a couple of minutes. Formerly the smallest distillery in Scotland, but it no longer is. It's still definitely a very, very small operation. A little bit brighter with water. A sweeter edge. Adding a little bit of, I don't know, some kind of a ganache, icing sugar, icing on top of that fruitcake. Final taste here. Such a lovely whiskey. That's my second bottle of this, and both of them very different. Now, I've had this for a couple of years, and a friend of mine also had this. That is Daryl. So Daryl had this bottling, and boy, it was just very, very soy saucy, balsamic vinegary. A little bit less so now. So that's one of the effects of keeping whiskey long term. You get some subtle, let's say, progression towards the mean, if that makes sense. Anyway, so lovely, lovely whiskey. I do have a couple of other Edradour reviews in the archives. One especially that I want you to check out is the Edradour 10-year-old, which I think I'm going to come back to, because what I see now here in Korea is that I can get the 10-year-old Edradour that is 43%, whereas I think it was 40% when I first got it. And that is full on sherry matured. And I think that is the whiskey that should replace Macallan on your whiskey shelf going forward, if it hasn't already, amongst other sherry bombs that do so well and outshine that distillery in every possible way. Anyway, on to the Whisky Whistle whiskey score for the Signatory Vintage Unchillfiltered Collection semi-official. There we go. Semi-official bottling of Edradour. What is that going to be, folks? It's going to be 88 out of 100. No. It's going to be 89 out of 100. You heard it. 89 out of 100 is the Whisky Whistle whiskey score for Edradour from the Unchillfiltered collection of Signatory Vintage. Let me know your thoughts. Share your tasting notes. And if this review encourages you to go out and grab a bottle, then come on back and leave a comment once you crack that open. The best way you can do that is by subscribing and hitting the bell. That way it's going to pop up in your whiskey feed, your YouTube feed on your account. And of course, please also check out Whisky Whistle on Patreon, the Whisky Whistle crew, patreon.com/Whisky Whistle. Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you for the next one. What will that be? I think because peat season is on the way. Can I reach it? Got it. Let's see what's going on with Lagavulin and the Distiller's Edition. And you can check out my face to understand where I'm coming from. Take care, folks, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye now.